Karmo didn't stand trial for the original robbery, was caught a number of years later after escaping from the sanitarium where he had feigned his insanity by eating his own excrement. Later was caught planning another robbery for the Bolsheviks. Because of the number of deaths he'd caused, he ended up getting 4 life sentences. He was destined to be killed. The death sentence waited. Incredibly, with the Romanovs still in power, it was their tricentennial year, in other words 300 years of power, in 1913. And the murderer and repeated bank robber Karmo had his sentence commuted from death to long-term life imprisonment. Of course, he only ended serving 4 years of that, because as the Russian Revolution took place in 17, this was in 13 that he was finally tried and had it commuted. 4 years later, all his friends who had plotted with him were now running what was then the USSR, the Soviet Union. And he was released in 17, having only served 4 years of jail. Now, what many people don't realize is much of this plotting and planning of bank robbery by the aggressive, militaristic, murdering, burglaring Bolsheviks occurred in London, Germany, and in the end was financed after failing to be able to successfully use all the marked notes that saw multiple arrests in different parts of Europe, with Lenin's synchronized attempt to cash in outside of Russia, ended up getting funded by Wall Street banks, German banks, investment banks, and London banks to eventually finance what later became the Russian Revolution and led to the murder of the Romanov family, which had all the great rumors of the one little girl, Anastasia, surviving, but largely history accepts. Right down to the last child and baby was slaughtered of the Romanovs. The extinguishment of the entire lineage of what was the equivalent of the British monarchy of Russia, funded by Western banks. Fascinating, fascinating. Later, as I've already described, this became Lenin Square, and his statue was on top of that. That has been taken down, and now it is Liberty Square, following Georgia gaining its independence from Russia. What is now Russia used to be the Soviet Union. So this is the story of a great bank robbery that has so many twists in the tale that you will not believe. Pause.